We all have this incredible power that we almost never use the right way. And that power is silence. Today, we're going to break down why the smartest, most powerful move you can make is often to just say nothing. Learning this art can literally protect your peace and your strength. So let's just start with a really simple question. If you had a handful of pure gold, would you just leave it out on the street for anybody to walk by and grab? No way, right? Of course not. You'd guard it. So why is it that when it comes to our secrets, our deepest feelings, our struggles, we sometimes just toss them around like they're worthless? Because here's the thing. Your words have immense power. And if we're being honest, a lot of our pain doesn't come from what people do to us. It comes from what we tell them about ourselves. So in this explainer, we're going to figure out how to guard that power and get our inner peace back. All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get into why your words are so powerful. Then, we'll look at the huge cost of oversharing and just how rare real trust is. After that, we'll uncover the hidden strength you find in silence, and we'll wrap it all up with why privacy is really just a form of self-respect. Let's dive in. Okay, section 1. Let's just start with a cold, hard truth. Not everyone who's listening to you, not everyone who seems to care, actually has your best interests at heart. And really, truly getting that, well, that's the first step to protecting yourself. See, when we share something personal, we just assume the other person is listening to help, right? To be compassionate. But that's not always what's happening. Some people are listening to understand you. But others, they're listening to gather information, just storing your words away so they can use them against you later on. And their motives can be all over the place. Some will pretend to be your best friend just so they can dig deeper into your life. And before you know it, your secret, that's now their entertainment. Your personal struggle, that's just a story they tell at lunch. And worst of all, the pain you shared with them becomes the very weapon they use to hurt you. And the really sad part, we're often the ones who hand them the weapon in the first place. So yeah, it's pretty clear that oversharing has a real, tangible cost. Let's talk about that cost, using this really powerful idea called the energy leak. An energy leak is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's that completely drained feeling you get after you realize you've said way too much to the wrong person. It's a real loss of your strength, your dignity, and that quiet inner peace you had, all because you revealed a piece of yourself that should have stayed private. And it usually happens like this. First, you overshare something. In that exact moment, you're basically transferring ownership of that emotion to someone else. And just like that, you've lost control. Your peace of mind now depends entirely on what they do with your information. And the result? You feel weaker. Not because you're actually weak, but because your inner energy has literally just leaked away. Which brings us to this huge question about trust. I mean, if our secrets are so valuable, if they're like diamonds, why do we give them away so easily? Well, it's because we're human. We want to connect. We want to be understood. But in that search for connection, we forget just how incredibly rare real trust actually is. Man, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? True trust isn't something you just find everywhere. It's precious. It's vital. When you finally find it, it's totally life-giving. But you could walk for a long, long time before you do. And here is the absolute key difference. Look, it is so easy to find someone who will sit there and nod their head while you talk. That's easy. But finding someone who will be a true keeper of your secrets, someone who guards what you've shared as if it were their own, that is exceptionally rare. So if you are lucky enough in this life to find even one person who can truly guard what you tell them, someone who listens to protect you, not to gossip, you need to be so, so grateful. People like that are rarer than gold. Don't make the mistake of expecting everyone to be that person. Okay, so if oversharing drains us and real trust is super rare, what's the alternative? The answer is in the hidden strength of silence. You see, when you tell everyone everything, you become predictable, and predictability is a weakness. But mystery? Oh, mystery is strength. Just look at the difference here. When you're predictable, you're an open book. It's easy for people to know exactly how to push your buttons, how to manipulate you. But when you hold a little something back, you create a sense of mystery. People can't quite figure you out. And this doesn't just protect you, it actually creates respect. It gives you a powerful presence. And let's be crystal clear about this. Mystery is not about being deceptive or lying. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It is simply the art of wisely choosing what you reveal and what you protect. It's about understanding that sometimes your silence says far more than your words ever could. And all of this leads us to our final and maybe the most important section. The way you handle your own privacy is directly linked to your self-respect. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who teaches other people how to treat you. I mean, think about it in the most basic economic terms. Things that are rare are valuable. Things that are common, that are everywhere, are treated as cheap. When you make your life a total open book for anyone and everyone to read, you are, without even realizing it, lowering the value of your own story. And this right here, this is the whole message. Privacy is not about hiding something because you're ashamed. It's an act of dignity. It's you making a statement to the world that says, my life, my story, my energy, it's valuable. And not everyone gets a free pass to access it. So when is silence the absolute most powerful choice you can make? Well, it's for those times when people are just determined to misunderstand you. No amount of explaining is going to change their mind. It's when you can feel that explaining yourself is doing nothing but draining your own peace. It's when you know your actions and your character can and should speak for themselves. And maybe most importantly, it's when you realize that a situation or a person simply does not deserve one more ounce of your energy. In those moments, choosing silence is the highest form of self-respect there is. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What part of your life, your story, your energy, what will you choose to protect? Not because you're afraid of what might happen, but because you are strong enough to know its true value. That is the real power of silence.